Hello. So, in this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different in that I am going to be opening this pack of Indy 500 trading cards. Now, this is inspired by the by Super 70s Sports, which is a great TikTok and Twitter account that does all sorts of cool sports stuff. And he opens all sorts of interesting packs of baseball cards. I got these Indy 500 cards as a prize for winning a prediction competition for last year's Indy 500 from Champ Web, who has a Twitter account that does all sorts of stuff about North American motorsports. So a little bit about these. They're from 1995. Now, I don't know if they are 1995 drivers from the 1995 Indy 500 or from if they're printed before or after. So I don't know if we're going to get some drivers that didn't qualify. What I do know is on the back it says there's a 1 in 10 chance of getting a past Indy winner. So let us see what we get here. I only cut open the package here. It's a bit awkward because I do this one-handed here. So just a sec. And we're back. So it's an Indy 500 trading card set by Skybox. So let us switch over our first card here and see who we get. So first is Jimmy Vasser. So Jimmy Vasser, that's a pretty good card. He's former kart champion, IndyCar champion. He won the IndyCar championship in 1996. In 1995, he was driving for, this is still with his 1994 car. So this was his number 18 Hey-Ho Racers. He qualified 16th in that. So I guess these are all from the 1994 race. So the next we have is Dominic Dobson. Dominic Dobson, he was a driver. He helped get the Pac West team up and running. He was a driver that he had been around for a little while, a bit of a veteran bouncing around. And not long afterwards, he went into team management, and the Pac West team went on to have a decent amount of success. They won a few races with Mark Blundell, Mauricio Gugelmin, and Scott Dixon later on. So there we go. And there's the back. It's got some of the stats. So he started, finished 29th, according to this. Next, we have a bit of a cult legend for a joke. That is Hiro Matsushita, or King Hiro, as he was known. His family owned the Panasonic company, so he had lots of money. He's from Japan. A lot of money, but not necessarily a lot of skill. The joke about the King Hero comes where Emerson Fittipaldi was trying to swear at him, and the first two letters of the word were cut off. I had a bit of a habit of sort of getting in the way, backmarker a bit. Cool looking cars though, driving for Dick Simon Racing in 1994. Dick Simon Racing was the team. Basically, they always had like 4 or 5 cars, but one like a really like an ace in the hole, and then a bunch of other guys with a bunch of money. So he was one of the guys with a bunch of money. There's King Hiro Matsushita. Next we have driving for AJ Foyt, Brian Herta. So Brian Herta, he went on to have a decent career. Pretty well. He won a few races. The King of Laguna Seca, and now his son is a successful racer, and he's also won the Indy 500 twice as a team owner. So Brian Herta driving for AJ Foyt, famous number 14 for AJ Foyt Racing, 22nd qualifier. It doesn't say where he finished at the back here. It just says where he qualified. Next we have who do we have? Yes, my favorite, Jacques Villeneuve. Jacques Villeneuve went on to win the 1995 race. This is his 1994 card. He finished second in 1994. He was Rookie of the Year at the Indy 500, and then he went on to win the kart championship and the Indy 500 in 1995, and then went on to win the Formula 1 championship in 1997, and then went on to win, nothing. But he made a lot of money. You're driving, Canadian, son of the late Gilles Villeneuve, an F1 legend. He was really one of the... Yeah, he had in the mid-90s, Jacques Villeneuve was like the Canadian hero. He was Canadian Athlete of the Year, just an amazing driver. But then things sort of fell off when he joined later in his F1 career. But there we go. Interesting that they're not showing his car because his car was one giant cigarette ad. But anyways, next we have Arie Luyendyk. Hey, this is a former winner. Arie Luyendyk, so by 1994, he'd sort of fallen down with not necessarily the strongest teams, but he had won the race in 1990, driving the Domino's Pizza Hot One for Doug Shireson Racing. In 1994, he finished 18th for Indy Regency Racing, one of the small teams. But there he is. There's Arie. He did go on to win the 1997 Indy 500 as well, and he drove the 2-seater for a little while as well. Next we have... Number 1, this is Nigel Mansell. There we go. Not an F1 former winner, but Nigel Mansell. When Nigel Mansell went to IndyCar racing, he had just won the F1 championship. He fell out with His team let him go. He left Williams after winning the 1992 F1 championship. Came to IndyCar for 1993. Big sensation. He won the IndyCar title. He had a good chance of winning the Indy 500, but then sort of blew it on a restart because he wasn't experienced to restart. The 1994 wasn't nearly as strong, and then he sort of left back to F1 and a huff, and that he won a race in F1 after that. And then he sort of had a few different abortive comebacks, but then he sort of petered out. But Nigel Mansell, red number 5, although he was number 1 because he was defending champion. But Nigel Mansell famously associated with red number 5. Here's his Newman Haas Lola Ford, teamed with Mario Andretti in 1994. That's a good card. And finally, we have Robbie Gordon. So if Nigel Mansell was a bit of controversial for being a little bit of a sort of a complainer, Robbie Gordon was controversial for being an aggressive driver and crashing a lot. Brash Gordon, they called him. He was outspoken. He sort of knew that he could get away with a lot because he was like the Ford's favorite son. He was clearly close to the Ford boss, Michael Cranfus. Here he is driving for, I think it was Walker Racing in 1994. Finished 5th. The Valvoline car for Walker Racing. 94 Lola Ford. He went on to win a couple of races in 1995, and then went on to have a successful career in NASCAR, although he upset a lot of people in NASCAR. He had a really good chance of winning in the 1999 Indy 500 as well, but ran out of fuel. Robbie Gordon, Brash Gordon. So wow, this is a pretty cool pack. There was 8 pretty cool pack. I'm glad I did this. Thank you so much again to Champweb for sending me this pack after winning that competition, and thank you to Super 70 Sports for the inspiration. Ciao everyone. So till next time, it's Tom of Ottawa.